I was 24 when I met Daniel. He wasn't the kind of man you notice right away at a party. Not loud, not flashy, not the type who sweeps you off your feet in the first 5 minutes. But there was something steady about him, something safe. When he spoke, he looked you in the eye, like your words mattered. I needed that kind of stability back then. I had been through a string of messy relationships, each one more chaotic than the last. Daniel was my anchor. We dated for a year before he proposed. It wasn't grand, no fireworks or elaborate gestures. He asked me one night while we were cooking pasta in his tiny apartment kitchen. He slipped the ring onto my flour-covered finger and said, "I don't want to do life without you." I cried and said yes. Our wedding was small but beautiful. I wore a lace dress my mother and I had found on sale, and he wore his father's old suit. We danced under string lights in his parents' backyard, surrounded by friends and family. I remember looking at him and thinking, this is it. I've finally found home. For the first 2 years, it really was perfect. We moved into a little house in the suburbs, painted the walls ourselves, bought mismatched furniture, and laughed about how broke we were. On weekends we went hiking, watched movies curled up on the couch, and whispered plans about children and travels. Life felt full, and I believed nothing could shake us. But life has a way of testing the promises you make. I had heard of Aaron long before I met him. Daniel spoke about him constantly. His college roommate, the guy who had been there through every breakup, every exam, every bad decision. "He's like my brother," Daniel would say proudly. I imagined someone dependable, quiet, maybe even boring. But when I finally met him, I was shocked. Aaron was nothing like I pictured. He was tall, athletic, with this easy charm that filled the room. He made people laugh without trying, but what struck me most was the way he looked at you when you spoke, as if every word you said was a secret he wanted to keep. The three of us started spending a lot of time together. Game nights, barbecues, camping trips. I never thought much of it at first. He was Daniel's friend, part of our circle, harmless. But then came little moments I couldn't ignore. Like the time we were washing dishes after a barbecue and his hand brushed mine, too long, too intentional. Or when he stayed late one evening and we ended up talking on the porch while Daniel slept inside. He told me about his failed relationships, his fears, his dreams. I told him things I hadn't even told Daniel. It was dangerous, I knew it. But there was a spark I couldn't deny. I still remember the exact night. It was raining hard, thunder shaking the windows. Aaron had come over to help me fix a leaking faucet. When he finished, I offered him a drink. One drink turned into 3. We sat on the couch, listening to the storm, talking about nothing and everything. At one point, he looked at me and said softly, "You deserve more passion in your life." My heart pounded. I should have stopped him, told him to leave. But instead I asked, "And what if I wanted it?" The kiss that followed was like lightning, reckless, electric, impossible to undo. We crossed a line that night, a line I had sworn to myself I never would. The next morning, I woke with guilt clawing at my chest. Daniel called to say good morning, his voice warm and loving, and I felt like the worst person alive. I told myself it was a mistake, a one-time lapse in judgment. I swore it would never happen again. But it did. Again and again. We started sneaking around, stolen moments in cars, hurried kisses in quiet rooms, excuses to run errands that were really just cover for our meetings. Each time I told myself I would end it, and each time I fell deeper. Living a double life is like constantly holding your breath. Every text felt like a bomb waiting to go off. Every lie I told Daniel made my skin crawl. I started erasing messages, deleting call logs, inventing errands just to cover my tracks. And Daniel, he wasn't stupid. He began to notice the distance. He'd ask, "Why are you so distracted lately?" Or, "Why are you smiling at your phone like that?" I always had an excuse. Work. Friends. Stress. Anything but the truth. Meanwhile, Aaron pushed harder. He didn't want to be the secret anymore. "You can't keep doing this. He told me one night. You have to choose. Him or me. But how could I choose? Daniel was my husband, the man who had promised me forever, the man who trusted me completely. But Aaron was the man who made me feel alive, desired, understood in ways I hadn't felt in years. I was trapped between safety and passion, between loyalty and desire. And the walls were closing in. It was a Saturday afternoon when it all came crashing down. I was in the shower when Daniel found my phone buzzing on the nightstand. I had forgotten to delete the messages. When I stepped out, towel around me, his face was pale, his hands shaking. He held my phone out like it was poison. Who is Aaron to you? He asked, his voice breaking. In that moment, I wanted the earth to swallow me whole. I tried to lie, to say it was nothing, just stupid flirting. But Daniel wasn't buying it. He had seen the messages, the "I miss you," the "Last night was incredible," the "When can I see you again?" His heartbreak turned to rage. He shouted through the phone against the wall, demanded answers. I confessed everything, sobbing, begging him to understand, to forgive me somehow. But there are some betrayals you can't explain away. The weeks that followed were hell. Daniel moved out, staying with his sister. His family turned against me instantly. His mother called me a homewrecker. His father wouldn't even look at me. Our mutual friends took sides, most of them his. I became the villain in every story. Aaron tried to stand by me at first. He said we could make it work, that now we were free to be together without hiding. But it wasn't the same. The passion that once felt exhilarating now felt tainted, poisoned by the destruction it caused. We lasted 3 months. 3 miserable months of guilt, fights, and constant whispers from people around us. Finally, Aaron ended it. We can't build something good out of something so ugly, he said. And he walked away. I was left alone, broken, and hated. It's been 4 years since that day. Daniel divorced me, married someone else, and now has 2 children. From the photos I've seen, he looks happy. Happier than he ever was with me. Aaron moved to another city. We haven't spoken in years. I don't even know if he thinks about me anymore. As for me, I live alone. I work, I pay my bills, I smile when people ask how I'm doing. But inside, I'm haunted by what I did. I betrayed the man who loved me, destroyed a marriage that could have lasted a lifetime, and lost the one person who truly believed in me. Sometimes, late at night, I replay the choices I made, wondering how different things could have been if I had just walked away from that first kiss. But life doesn't give you rewinds. Only consequences. And mine is a lifetime of regret.